Hello, everybody, and welcome to the New Flame Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew, along with Kareem and Dean, and we have got a very special episode today. And before I get into it, just want to say, it came out this morning. Jay Bruce, outfielder, first baseman, DH, now of the Yankees, is retiring following today's game. He's had a nice career for himself, mostly known as a power hitter, just really has not been the same since really like 2015 when he was on the Mets. So he's had a pretty good career, not Hall of Fame or worthy or anything like that, but definitely a nice little career for himself. He just has not been getting enough playing time, and I think once Luke Voigt comes back, there was just absolutely no way he would be playing, and he just has not been playing poorly. He's been playing really poorly this year, I meant to say, and it was just time for him. And I just wonder, like, who is it going to be next year? Like last year, we had Troy Tulowitzki, who we signed for depth, but he had to end up starting because of injuries and all that. And then he just wasn't producing. Hit one home run and then retired as a Yankee. This year it's Jay Bruce. Who is it going to be next year? Like Albert Pujols. I don't know. Anyway, but nice career for Jay Bruce there, and now into the actual meat and potatoes of this video. Really, the only thing in this video, we're going to be doing a one-round NFL mock draft here. Picks 1 through 32. Couple things here. No trades going on. It's just way too complicated, and we just figure. Even though there will be trade, I'm assuming there will be at least one trade in the actual NFL draft. Just want to keep it nice and simple here. So how we decided to do it is we're going to be taking turns, the three of us, and so that way it's like an actual NFL draft. We don't know who's gonna take who. Like for all we know, say like round pick like 13, someone takes someone, and then so you know how it is. It's like a real NFL draft with GMs here, and we're taking turns, like I said. So Kareem's gonna go first, Dean's gonna go second, I'm gonna go third. So yeah, let's just get right into it now. Starting. Oh, by the way, we are using the Pro Football Network mock draft simulator. I'll leave a link to the starter page in the description below. So anyway, let's get right into this. Starting with the first pick, obviously going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Kareem, you have one of the most obvious selections in recent draft memory, but I just explain your reasoning as to why this is going to be.
Okay, I'm gonna pick Trevor Lawrence
And he only pick. Yeah, yeah,
the Jaguars.
yeah. But at the same time, you have one of the best. You have one of the best quarterback prospects since Andrew Luck. Why would you throw him away? But he's already been in Jacksonville for a little bit. He's been talking with Urban Meyer and the coaching staff. So I think he's a lock to go number one, just like everyone says. Uh, Moving on to number two in the New York Jets, we got Dean up here now. Who do you got the Jets picking at number two? Yeah, and like before, maybe you thought that maybe they'd take Kyle Pitts at two, maybe trade down like with the Falcons or something like that. But after trading Sam Darnold, they were going to take a quarterback, and Zach Wilson is widely regarded as the second best quarterback prospect in this draft. Next up, we got the San Francisco 49ers acquired this pick with the trade with Miami through Houston and all that. And there's been a lot of talk that Mac Jones is gonna go here. It's like there can't be a reason for the 49ers to justify taking Mac Jones. They could have gotten him at 12, and I know they didn't see that pro day coming from him, but come on. I don't see a world in which they take Mac Jones. I think they go with Justin Fields, quarterback from Ohio State. He's got it all. He had like one or two bad games this year, and that was really it for him. Like and even then, he still played well. He played Northwestern, which is the one game that everyone points out, but Northwestern was the best defense in the country. But I think Jimmy Garoppolo needs to get out, and I think Justin Fields working with Kyle Shanahan and that offense just I think is going to be a really good fit for San Francisco and Justin Fields at number 3. So I got Justin Fields. Moving on, Justin Fields going to San Francisco. Moving on to number 4 in the Atlanta Falcons. We got Kareem. Or they could trade down because that's what they're looking to do because there's yeah, 'cause- yeah, like Washington maybe or New England. Yeah, oh, 15 you mean? No, Carolina. So they might trade up with Carolina, but yeah, that's something new. I don't see that. Yeah, yeah, you're bound to see. Yeah, or the sixth, or the seventh, because they got Goff. But moving on, we got Trey Lance going number 4. I personally think that they're gonna trade down, but in this mock draft, no trades. They're gonna go Trey Lance, sit behind Matt Ryan for a year, and try to pull off a Patrick Mahomes thing. Moving on, number 5, Cincinnati Bengals. Dean, you on the clock here. Who you got the Bengals taking? No, Delontes. There's no way they pass on Panay Sewell. To me, Panay, yes, bro, 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 bro. The Steelers with T.J. Watt. Yeah, he can play. He's Sewell is norm. Sewell is normally a left tackle, but he's been working out at right tackle recently for teams. But to me, Panay Sewell, he has what they call raw talent. It's where he's not like say I've heard this say like a lot. I've heard that Rashawn Slater is the better day one offensive tackle, but Panay Sewell has bigger upside, and I think that's what the Bengals want to do there. They want to get the upside, and I think they're going to take Panay Sewell. And if you haven't seen it, the Bengals fans made a meme about like the Jamar Chase versus Panay Sewell debate, or any wide receiver for that matter, and it's like Joe Burrow protected by Panay Sewell actually can throw a pass. Joe Burrow throwing to Jamar Chase per se can't even get it off because he's going to get sacked. They don't need receivers. Yes, you lost AJ. Yeah, and and yes, you lost AJ Green. Yes, you could take. Yeah, yeah, he hasn't been healthy the past couple of years, and or you could take Kyle Pitts. But I just There's no way they don't take an offensive lineman saying that they need to protect Burrow, and there's just no way they don't take Penei Sewell. Dean. A lot of people are saying it's Jamal Chase, and some people even have Jalen Waddle over Devontae Smith. I think part of that is just because he's so undersized. And you throw him on a but no, he's 5'10", 170. You expect him to play in the NFL at that weight at wide receiver? No, I just don't see it happening. So Dean, would you like to change your pick to Penei Sewell? Mm, he played all 4 years, yes, but that catch in the national championship was Georgia, yeah. I mean, I can understand why they wouldn't like, cause yeah, 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 he's yeah, yeah. Devontae Smith can jump a little bit, so yeah, yeah. That's who I have them taking. Moving on, we got the Miami Dolphins at 6. And originally I had them taking Devontae Smith, but I looked further into it. And the thing that worries about him, he's just going to get rocked versus like Stephon Gilmore, who's a very like big guy, or Tre'Davious White, or just guys in that division. And they got their field stretcher in the offseason with Will Fuller. So that's why I still have them taking wide receiver. That's why I have them taking Jamar Chase. He's not the fastest guy by any means, but he can still definitely get you that big play here and there. He's a big guy. So I not Kyle Pitts. I mean, he could play wide receiver, but I feel like he just wouldn't be used enough. And I feel like Jamar Chase would be just a better fit there. I mean, I kind of wanted I if Kyle Pitts is there, I'd want us to take him, but I don't know if we would. Yeah. No, they got T.J. Hawkinson. He could. They could. Yeah, he's so versatile. Hmm. Yeah. 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 My only problem with Kyle Pitts is that he doesn't. I don't think he is necessarily fast enough to play wide receiver. He's really fast, but I just don't know if I just he's really fast for a tight end, but I just don't know if he'd be willing to come into the league and just straight up play wide receiver. He could. So if the Lions really wanted to, they could trade up or trade down with like the Cowboys or someone like that. And so the Cowboys can get like Sertain at 7, and then Lions can get yeah. But maybe. But so who do you got? Who do you got the Lions taken at number 7 though. Yeah, and if he does, Panthers who need a tight end are going to be very happy. So yeah. On that note, they just need a tight end, and they're gonna be pretty good. But uh, yeah, on that note, Gene, who do you got the Panthers taken at number 8 overall? Yeah, and can play wide receiver. Yeah, that's like if he falls to 8, they will. I think that'll be like the most locked pick besides Trevor Lawrence. Moving on to the Denver Broncos at number 9, they could go a lot of ways here. They could get offensive linemen with Rashawn Slater. They could get Sertain or J.C. Horn, but with the signing of Kyle Fuller, they already have Bryce Callahan. I don't think they'd necessarily need corner, especially in that division where wide receiver is not the strongest position. I know you have the Chiefs, but you have Tyreek Hill and McCole Hardman. Past that, who do you have? Exact, and even then, McCole Hardman is not that great of a wide receiver. Raiders, you got no one. You have Dalen Waller. That's the Raiders' offense. Him and Josh Jacobs. Then on the Chargers, you got Keenan Allen, and then you got Kyle Fuller to go there. You could also go Zaven Collins, but I think I've heard that not Zaven Collins, Micah Parsons, but I've heard he has had like character issues or something like that, so he might not want to like I don't know. I've just heard that. So at number 9, they could go a lot of ways. They could definitely trade down, but here, just given the players that have been taken in and are available, I'm gonna have them going with Sean Slater, offensive tackle from Northwestern. He can play both guard and tackle, and is said to be the better day one lineman than Sewell. So if the Broncos can get him at 9, pair him up with Garrett Bowles, I think they'll be very happy to do so. Moving on to the number 10 pick, Kareem, you alluded to this earlier, but who you got at number 10? Yeah, definitely, definitely. Okay, so since he's not, I'll just take his spot for now. Number 11, we got the New York Giants, and here they could go a lot of ways. Their defense is very underrated. They with the addition of Adoree Jackson, if he can just stay healthy, that'll be great for them. But they could go offensive line. They could also go wide receiver. But you got Kenny Galladay, and you got who else? You got Sterling Shepard and Darius Slade, who is not as bad as everyone thinks. I know some Giants fans don't really like them and all, but I personally like them. I think they're a great number 2 and 3 behind Galladay. And then you got John Ross, who can just spread the field if he can stay healthy. So I don't think they'd go with a guy like Devonta Smith. I don't think they want to give up on Daniel Jones quite yet, so no Mac Jones. They could go J.C. Horn, maybe Christian Darrisaw, but this might be a little bit of a reach. But I'm gonna say they're gonna get the Penn State guys back together, Micah Parsons and Saquon Barkley. I got them taking Micah Parsons. He's one of those guys who's like really, he's like pretty good at everything, just not great at one thing. So if you can like develop like say his pass rushing skills or his coverage skills or his man coverage skills, I think that would be really good for him. And then as well as keeping the traits he already has because he's really good. Um, Looking at his like draft stock here, draft profile, says that he's instincts to run, hot and cold, efficient, inefficient getting to the action, does not drive through tackles, possession average. So I feel like if the Giants, who have a very underrated defense, can just develop him a little bit, I think we'll be looking back and thinking that this was a good pick for the Giants at number 11, taking Micah Parsons, the second of three NFC East teams picking in a row, giving it back to Kareem for the Eagles at number 12. Who do you got them taking? It's because he didn't want to give his weight at his pro day because he's super undersized and he's going to get knocked around a lot. His main concern is going to be staying healthy. He's going to be another John Ross, I feel like. Yeah. Yeah. Jalen Hurts, Dallas Goddard. Yeah, it's right around average, I'd say. So, you got Devontae. Yeah, you can win a few games. I still think the Eagles are going to be one of the worst teams in the league next year. The offensive line is still the offensive line is going to be good, but just not as good as it has been. Everyone's getting older, but Devontae Smith, you can get him. He's a truly just playmaker out there. Moving on to the Chargers at 13. Won't take Mac Jones. He could go offensive lineman, just giving all the money to Corey Linsley in the offseason. And you lost Casey Hayward. I think this is where J.C. Horn goes, from South Carolina, cornerback. In a team in a division where I didn't say you have the strongest wide receivers, but you still have some good ones. Especially with the Broncos, you got Judy. Hot take, hot take. Broncos have the best wide receivers in overall in that division. Say what you want about it, because you have Tyreek Hill. Yes, he's top five wide receiver in the game, but after that, you really have nothing. You have nothing. Meanwhile, the Broncos, you got Quillen Sutton, Jerry Judy, Tim Patrick. Um, no, it's tight end, but J.C. Horn. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Chargers with J.C. Horn. Um, I think he was one guy that I just did not know about until just like a couple months ago. Back when the draft was really starting to get going. Plays tough, physical. So I think if they can just develop him like reading routes a little bit better. That's what it says here. It's like late reacting in zone coverage, just recognizing things a little bit better. I think. And for a team that's had a history of great corners, especially recently, you got Desmond King, Casey Hayward, and all that. So J.C. Horn to the Chargers at 13, I think makes a lot of sense. Going to the Vikings at number 14. All right, Dean. Yeah. Yeah, but I just don't think there are any like right now that would be willing to take at 14. Maybe like Jeremy Owusu-Koramoah. Yeah. And you look at what Dalvin Cook did last year with a subpar offensive line. Imagine what you can do. You got Christian Davis on there. But moving on to the Patriots at 15, Kareem is big spot, big spot. No, and Trey Lance and Kyle Pitts. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think they might start Cam, and then just if he fails, you always have that backup option. Yeah, and if Cam fails, you always have that. Yeah, you have that backup. You have that fail safe with Mac Jones, and this is where I've had him going since the beginning of like all this going down. But Mac Jones, the Patriots, I think he fits them very well, and Mac Jones, I think just is a beneficiary of being at Alabama and having best wide receivers. So you give him a team that doesn't have great weapons, but give it a year or two, and I think the Patriots will be back to normal without Brady. Moving on to the Cardinals at 16, could very well go Elijah Vera Tucker here. He could go corner, could go defensive tackle, could go D line. And I think they have enough pass rushers. They got J.J. Watt, they got Chandler Jones. Even though Hassan Reddick did leave, I think that does open up the possibility of taking like Aziz Ojulari or someone like that. But I think with that offense, you got to give Kyler time to throw the ball. You got to let James Conner run, and I think that is why they are going to be taking Elijah Vera Tucker at number 16. Could be a little bit of a reach. Maybe they'd be willing to trade down to get him. Maybe stockpile like a fifth round pick or something like that with a team like maybe like Washington or something like that. So who knows? But I think Elijah Vera Tucker just fits them, and he's gonna start day one for the Cardinals, and just gonna be a really good fit for them. Moving on to the Las Vegas Raiders. My bad at number 17 in the draft. They got a lot of holes. Where do you think they fill them, Dean? Yeah, yeah. They could also go Jeremiah Uso, Kouamoa, Azizo Jalori, someone like that. Maybe even Quiddy Pay there. Could all will fit, but I think Barnmore is a good pick there. But like I said in the beginning, it's the Dolphins pick. That means it's mine. So Kareem will just pick next, and then we'll go back to normal. Dolphins at 18. I think this would might be a little bit early to take a running back, but considering the next few teams don't need a running back, Washington doesn't need one, Chicago doesn't need one, uh, Colts don't need one. Titans definitely don't need one. So you could consider trading up with the maybe not with the Jets because they're a division rival, but I think this might be a little bit of a reach if they were to take Najee Harris, and I think that is what they're gonna do. I think Najee Harris is just he's just he's just he's a great running back. He's and like a lot of people just think of him as like a lesser version of Derrick Henry. Najee Harris is a pretty good pass catcher. We all remember that hurdle play in the national championship game. Um, and he's great at initial contact with runner defender. So I think you can get Najee Harris, and then you have Miles Gaskin and Savon Ahmed as second and third options. I think that is great. And then on the goal line, you can either give it to Najee Harris, you can give it to Christian Wilkins, you can give it to anyone to someone else. But I think Najee Harris is a good fit. Reuniting him with Tua down in Miami does not have to move very far. Um, Najee Harris moving from Alabama to Miami. But Kareem, now it is you pick at a 19 with the Washington football team. They could. Oh, I forgot they got Ngakwe. But here's the thing. No, this is true. This is true, but there were no good offensive linemen worth taking at 17. But in the draft, I got the Cardinals taking him at 16. But here's the thing: all those guys you listen, Cleveland Farrell, Max Crosby, and Yannick Ngakwe, they were all ends. They were all like defensive ends. Bone was a classic defensive tackle. This is true, but yeah, but I don't understand how you can compare Max Crosby to J.J. Watt. I can understand they're similar types of players, but J.J. Watt is just so much better. Yeah, that and offensive line. Yeah, but here's the thing: we were just saying they don't need edge rushers. Outside of outside of outside of Sewell, Slater, Velu Tucker, uh, and Darius all there were no good offensive linemen, and they were all taken. Yeah, they're average. Yeah. Anyway, moving on, we got Washington at 19. Back to Kareem here. He got them taken at 19. That it is. If Fitzpatrick, they got Heineke, so he's just not worth. He's just yeah. Kyle Trask is just not worth a first round pick. This is true. They could. Yeah, yeah. That or you could like really work on that front. You could improve that front seven that's already pretty good and get like Rusa Kuamura. Or get like Greg Newsom the third out of Northwestern at corner even. They aren't bad, but you did lose Ronald Darby, right? Yeah, I think so. I think he's still with them. But I'm just saying you don't have that number two guy anymore that you had with Darby. They have Cody Samuel, Terry McLaurin, Adam Humphries. Who went now? Yeah, he's more of a fourth option, so yeah. Yeah, they have McLaurin, Samuel, and Humphries. And he's not the greatest. He just made that one play versus the Steelers. Yeah. So I think they could go linebacker, but I don't hate the pick of Rashad Bateman there. I just think they were better options. It's a safe bet, yeah. I think there were a little bit of better options, but he's just it's gonna just be yeah. So you got the Washington football team taking Rashad Bateman at 19. Dean, back to you, and then we'll go to me and then Kareem. For number 20, Chicago Bears. Dean, who do you got them taking? Their front seven is pretty good. No, they got rid of him. Yeah. Not a bad pick. There. Just overall, he's a late. Uh, um, looking at his like profile here, possesses average long speed, quick leaving his back pedal at times. But he's great. He's a great coverage corner, and with guys like Devonte Adams and Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen in your division, you're gonna need a good coverage guy. So for him, next up, Tennessee Titans. We got the next two teams going to be competing for that AFC South crown next year, and we got the Colts, then the Titans. I think the Colts here. I think they could improve their front seven offense. I don't think that offense needs any help. Maybe you could take wide receiver. Oh man, there's a guy here that I'm just really forgetting about. Let's see, where is he at? Where is he at? Where is the main man? Kadarius Toney. They could easily go Kadarius Toney here, but I don't think they're going to. I think that might be a little bit of a reach, even though he's really good. But I do have them taking Jeremiah Russo Koromoa out of Notre Dame. Looking at the draft profile, not it says not a great tackler and struggles with getting off blocks, but that's why you have DeForest Buckner. And so I think you get him to be a coverage linebacker, and I think he's going to be really good with the Colts here at number 21. A little bit of a he fell a little bit to them. Next up, we got the Titans with Kareem on the clock, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what let them down was the Ravens. Not real. They lost Jadavian Clowney to the Browns. They signed D'Amico Autry, but he's more of a defensive tackle. So yeah, so I think Kwity Paye is a good pick for them. Yeah. Next up we got the New York Jets at 23. They could go a lot of options, but saying that that team is so bad, but saying they got a quarterback, what do you think they are going to do here at number 23, Dean? You mean Zach Wilson? Bro, he got traded to the Panthers. Bro, you've been living under a rock, my guy. God. And at number 24, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if this guy falls to them, either one of the running backs in this class, Travis Etienne or Najee Harris, they are going to be ecstatic. They lost James Conner. And yes, they need a better. Their offensive line has declined the past couple of years, but I think you get a Travis Etienne, and but you have some sort of a running game this year again. And even if the running game isn't like as strong as you want it to be, Ben won't have to throw the ball to Juju or Claypool or Deontay Johnson as much anymore. He'll be able to have that safe check down option now, as Travis Etienne is a great, fantastic receiving back. Um, so I think at number 24, the Steelers, they just have to go Travis Etienne here. It makes way too much sense for them. Running back out of Clemson, going to them at number 24. Next up, we got the Jags from, oh yeah. Dean could do the Browns pick. Alright. Hmm. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the running game wasn't as. Yeah. But, yeah, getting this pick from the Rams in the Jalen Ramsey trade. And the Jets got their last pick from the Seahawks in the Jamal Adams trade. So, anyway, Browns at 26. Dang. He's the number one or two talent wise. The only problem is staying healthy. Oh, probably money reasons. No, I don't think did he sign? Orlando Brown Jr. Uh, no, he's still there. No. Orlando Brown Jr. is a free agent. Dean. Orlando Brown Jr. is a free agent after this year. I mean, they just get Kevin Zeitler? Yeah, because he was with the Giants. Sammy Watkins. Marquise Brown has not lived up to the hype. Sammy Watkins just gets injured way too much, and Willie Snead is just meh. Mm-hmm. Rashad Bateman was already picked. Yeah, number 19. Bro, you forfeit your draft pick. Good job, Baltimore. Yeah, that's what I expected. Yeah. You cut out there. What did you say? Oh, yeah. And yeah. So anyway, moving on. Got the Saints here, and I would love to pick for the Packers just because I have this one guy in mind that I really want them to take. He's really good. Getting overlooked too, but for this New Orleans Saints, obviously not in a great cap hit situation. But I think there was one guy that there was like a couple guys here that they could take, and the one guy that I think they're going to take here is Zaven Collins from linebacker from Tulsa. Um, he's not. I'm looking at his draft profile here. Not very quick. Kit gets caught upfield and out of position. But when you coach this guy up and you can look at him as and you can keep him focused into the game, he's going to be a great linebacker for years to come. Great great looks sees here can locate the ball quickly. Great tackler. So I think Zaven Collins at number 28 to the Saints just makes a lot of sense. Linebacker from Tulsa. Moving on to number 29. I think it would go Dean, me, then Kareem. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Let's just go Dean. Who do you got for the Green Bay? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. But he's coming back this year. He's coming back this year. I do not. No, he is not. Hmm. Interesting. Aaron Rodgers wouldn't. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers would be the happiest with that pick, saying that is a certain wide receiver still available. Mm, he's really good.
Wait,
Kadarius Toney, he is so good, bro. He reminds me a lot of like what Curtis Samuel can do. I do. I hope the Dolphins can get him in the second round if he falls out of the first round. Yeah, yeah. But if I was the Packers, I'd take Kadarius Toney. Yeah, and MVS is he's a good number 3. Yeah, the one Colts game. Yeah, game against the Colts. But 29, do you want to go with your instinct and say Cosme or Tevin Jenkins? Or do you want to go? Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you got who? Yeah. So who do you have them taking? Cosme? Moving on, I'll go ahead and pick for the Bills, then it'll go to Dean, and then I guess we can just all come up with a collective pick for the Buccaneers. For the Bills, they could go a lot of things. You have the number 17 ranked prospect according to Pro Football Network in Aziz Ojulari here. I think here with the Bills, you could go Tevin Jenkins. You could also go like Jason Owe or Gregory Russo, but the just problem with Russo is that I've seen this a lot of places that he just relies way too much on his strength. and his explosiveness. He doesn't actually like have great actual like like getting to the passer skills. He just relies way too much on his strength. So that's why I have them taking Aziz Ojolari here. Their defense wasn't amazing last year, and I think that can just get them over to that Super Bowl that they've been looking for, and I think it'll be great help. But for the Chiefs, Dean, who do you got? But Kevin Jenkins, though. But you got Alright, and now for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we can all chip in, our 2 cents here. They don't need a lot of things, obviously, since they won the Super Bowl, but I think you could look into maybe getting, like an offensive lineman, maybe, or dare I say a cornerback. Maybe like this, yeah, yeah, jeez. Yeah, but I think Melifonu, I think could be a pick here. Maybe you go linebacker, but there are just no great linebackers. Yeah, yeah. Uh, Dean had him taken at 17 to the Raiders. I think here, if you're the Bucks, I think you do go Afudo, Ifetu Melifonwu. Oh no, Afodu Melifonu. I think that's his name. Or you could go like Asante Samuel Jr., who I've seen mocked here. Yeah. So it just comes down to who you would prefer, Melifonwu or Asante Samuel Jr. Just looking at the draft profiles here, I think Asante Samuel could be better in the long run, and that's who I think they will take. So what do you guys think about that? Yeah, I think Asante Samuel is the pick here. I think, you know what? Alright, give the over under for the amount of picks we get right. I'm gonna say over under 16 and a half. And I say we, and I'm gonna say we get more than 16 and a half picks, right? Because think about it. Trevor Lawrence is a lock. Zach Wilson is a lock. Yeah, Lawrence, Wilson, Panay Sewell, um, Sotain. Yeah, maybe. But, yeah. But then I think Terrence Marshall Jr. to the Ravens is a great pick. I think that's gonna be a lot. I think Travis Etienne to the Steelers is a lock. The most one that I just don't know about would probably be probably Christian Barmore to the Raiders. Would probably be the one that I'm like, I don't know about that. I mean, the Raiders do love like just hardworking guys, and Barmore does fit that role, so maybe they do take him. But uh, I'm gonna wrap it up here. It's been a long enough episode, and I just want to say thank you for watching. Sorry for no episode last week. We were on spring break, my our school, but if you like this episode, go ahead and hit the like button. If you like what we're doing around here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we will see you next week. Peace out.